Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another episode of 365 Days of Gaming. Really appreciate you taking our time to check out this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Greatly appreciate it, so thank you in advance. Now, I got a sporty ball video for you. And we probably are getting close to the end of sports games on this list, especially traditional sports games. But I wanted to show you, since we are around the time of Madden, I wanted to show you what happens when a company who used to make pro football games no longer has the ability to and tries to do something a little bit out of the box and how it turns out. And I think it's still one of the most legendary football games that we've ever gotten. This is All Pro Football 2K8. What makes All Pro Football different than most any other football games that you've played is this game features not current and active players. Even when it was released in 2008, there were no active players in this game. Rather, it used, Hall of Fame caliber players. And it's like the most you could do without having the access to the names and likenesses and all of that logos and things from actual pro football teams. So what could they do, right? So they came up with this idea to use all of these legends. They had this whole marketing campaign, and this was on the Xbox and PlayStation, Xbox 360 and PS3. And you had the ability to use one of the pre-generated teams, or you could make your own team. And this game is very, very, very well designed. So if you remember the 2K5 football game, you just take that and you put it on at the time, the next gen. So you got all of the gameplay mechanics that everybody loved that they couldn't get anymore, but you got it on next gen systems for the time. And it was, a thing of beauty. Even now, watching this game and showing you this footage, you can see how really good this game looks, even at this point, 15 years later, which is crazy. It makes me feel very, very old. But I remember playing this game in the early 2010s, so like 2010, 2011, 2012, right? And unfortunately, the servers ended up going down and we had no choice. We couldn't play the game anymore. But me and my friends, particularly, my friends Larry and Kennard, we played this game so much. Like, I got my brother into it at one point, and like a few of our other friends ended up getting copies and playing with us. And it was like our own little football world. Like, everybody was playing Madden at the time, and understandable, it was the pro football game of the time, but we were playing All Pro, and it was all about trying to maximize the level of your created team and the players that you used and the style of play you wanted to play, and also that Larry can't kick field goals to save his life. So that was always funny. But so you have the option when you build a team, you get a certain number of tiers of players. So you have gold star players, you have silver star players, and you have bronze star players. And everybody else is filled in by randomly generated players, which we called rec center players. Because if you know about sports, you know about rec centers and whatnot. So we don't need to explain that a little any further than that. But it's not like those generated players were terrible. You could have them specialize in certain things. For example, if you had randomly generated running backs, you could have ones that were, better running between the tackles or better at, speed stuff and sweeps and things like that. Receivers could be deep threats, or they could be more possession based. Linemen can be more focused on run stopping or pass rushing, as well as, run blocking, pass blocking. But where the choices and the depth really came in is where you picked your star players. For me, I never wanted to use my star players on certain positions like quarterback, which my friends, they would pick, gold star quarterbacks. And there were some really good ones like Joe Montana, John Elway, Dan Marino, Troy Aikman, what I'm saying? And even some of the older ones like Johnny Unitas and Roger Staubach and Otto Graham, like really, legendary players. But I was usually like for a running back or something. So I would do like Gale Sayers or Barry Sanders. I remember somebody picked OJ Simpson, and I think he ran for like 230 yards or something like that. And Larry's like, he put 230 chicken McNuggets on you. But like, we just had our whole, like, this was so crazy. Like, you would come home, jump online like we used to back in the day, right? And somebody would have a brand new team and they're just waiting to break them out. And like, who on All Pro? Who want this? I remember Larry had a team that was called like the Iron Man, and it was just like all his stars were on defensive players, and it was like the Iron Curtain. It was like his version of the Steelers based on what he could build, and it was just like this. You couldn't score against the team basically. Like it was going to be a nasty, grinded out game. I remember Kennard had this more offensively style team where he had like, I want to say it was Dan Marino and Jerry Rice were like his gold star players. And it was like he was just going to air it out. But he also had like silver star receivers and silver star tight end and just running back. Like it was an offensive juggernaut. And I remember watching them play and being like, yo, this is crazy. Like we had all of these battles out here, you know, and sometimes you put a game plan together, you go against somebody and it just blows up in your face. But it was like our own little world of football. And if you know about this series, you understand why it's so highly regarded by those who were there to experience it. Like I said, they ended up shutting the servers down, so we couldn't play it anymore, even if we wanted to, because nobody was living next to each other, so it was much harder to, you know, get this going. But this series meant a lot for us during that time, and it was really something that kind of scratched our football itch when we couldn't get it from Madden in the way that we wanted to. So I definitely had to put it on this list and show love to a series that, you know, we kind of long for, and we probably will never see anything like this again. So if you know about this series, what was your team? Who was your go-to players? For me personally, it was really more about the Silver Stars for me. So my main 3 consistent Silver Stars were always Randall Cunningham, Herman Moore. Shout out to my brother Ron for putting me on the Herman Moore. And Elvin Bethea, because Elvin Bethea had the swim move. And if you get caught with the swim move, I'm hitting your quarterback or I'm getting to the ball. So, you know, that was my boy. But I appreciate you letting me reminisce with you. Y'all have fun. Y'all be safe. Peace.